Some LT companies will make your life in Japan amazing. Others will make you miserable. Today, I'm going to help you guys choose the best LT company when it comes to teaching English in Japan. I know some of you are preparing to make the bold step to teach English in Japan, and you're just wondering, what is the best company for me? Well, my name is Opendo Barasa. I've been living and working in Japan for the last 2 years teaching English. And today I'm going to give you a good guide. What is the thought process when it comes to picking the best LT company? Number one, you want to think of their reputation. Go online like Reddit, Glassdoor, Indeed. There are so many websites online, or just avenues where you can actually just Google a name of a company and see what people are saying about that said company. Now, when it comes to reading reviews, you want to find reviews that are very balanced. There's no company on earth that has only good reviews, because people tend to have different experiences depending on where they're working and who they were working with. You want to find a company with maybe a good chunk of good reviews, because everyone is going to have a negative review depending on their experience. And depending on where you are from in the world, you're going to have a very, very different experience with individual companies. For example, an LT from Africa and an LT from the US have different expectations, have lived different lives. So when they come to Japan and maybe they have a certain experience, they view that experience from their lenses and how they grew up and their mindset and everything. So you want to make sure that the reviews are a bit balanced based on your needs, where you're from. If possible, try and get people from your own country who have had experience working with that particular company and see what they're saying. So don't just look for a company with bad reviews. Don't say, oh, just because this company has this one bad review, then it's a bad company. No, reviews can be very subjective. Everyone's experience is different. Some companies are good overall. Some companies have good branches and other branches are terrible. So those are the things that you're supposed to weigh, not just the overall company, like this company is bad, but look at, what are people saying, the fine lines. Is this company just generally bad? Or was it a specific branch? Was it a specific manager? Was it a specific supervisor? So look at the fine print, not just the overall comment. There's context to everything. Of course, when it comes to companies that are just bad overall, you'll probably notice a pattern. There's something that people would always repeat and say, oh, maybe they don't do A, B, and C, maybe they don't support their ALTs. When it comes to just deciding a company is bad, the comments will always show a pattern. So make sure you look at the patterns and not just isolated reviews. Number two, think of the company size versus your needs. In Japan, there are so many LT companies. There are names that you've had before. Every time you Google, you'll see, oh, this is the best LT company. And there are companies that are non-existent. Some are just coming up. Some I've never even heard of them myself. And people would come to me and say, oh, I applied to this company. And I'm like, what? I've never even heard of this company before. So when it comes to company sizes, thinking, are you looking for stability? Are you looking for something that is niche but very supportive? Because a very small company could have maybe better support. A very big company could have many LTs, so maybe the support could not be as effective. But from my experience, even some big companies, as long as the structures are there and the people have been in the market for a long time, the support is always great. So think about your needs. Are you a kind of person that wants a very close-knitted community, somebody you can call at any time? Or you're looking for a big company where you can just disappear and nobody even remembers you exist until, maybe it's time for an observation. So you never know. Think about those things. I think in Japan, company size is very, very, very important, because it means they've existed for a while. They have the right structures. So I think the bigger the better, but this is not to say the smaller companies are not good. If it was up to me, I would try and go with a bigger company, because it means they have been in the business for a while and probably they know the ins and outs of the industries. You're guaranteed positions, probably job security in a way. But the smaller companies, it depends. You could be the guinea pig. You could be the testing the LTs that helps them to, establish the company, which is still fine. It just depends with what needs you have and what vision you have as an LT moving to Japan. Now, on the same breath, this is one of the most important points. When you go through a company's website, you want to check how transparent they are with information, because that is going to tell you, what to expect with them. Are they going to be honest, or are they just selling a narrative or a dream? You want to see, are they transparent about their salaries, about their working environment? When you look at reviews online and what they say on their website, does it match? Because you don't want a company that advertises, for example, says a salary is 290,000 yen or 250,000 yen, but on the ground, the salary is just 200,000 yen. So you want to find a company that says what they say on the website and it actually reflects reality. How transparent are they? Because if you've watched some old interviews, I've talked about companies that have prorated salaries on certain months. So does the company explicitly state that on their website? Do they say that, hey, during summer we are not going to pay you, during winter we are not going to pay you? Do they say that explicitly? If they don't, probably that's a red flag, because if that's not what you do, then why don't you have it on your website? It's just the little things. You don't want to come here expecting a salary in a particular month and you're like, hey, we're not going to pay you because you didn't work during this holiday. But this information was not given to you before you even made your application. So you want to look at those tiny details. The last one would be support systems. You want to look for a company that offers trainings, and maybe when there's an emergency, how do they help you? Look at reviews. I think reviews are the best way to actually gauge whether this company is a best fit for you. But many companies in Japan do offer support. I think across the board, almost all companies will offer you training, but there are companies which will do extensive training. They would have summer training, winter training, autumn training, whatever. And there are companies who would just offer you training at the beginning. Also, when it comes to your life in Japan, many companies really don't care, but some will do their best to support you. When you're sick, can they help you find a doctor who speaks English? When you need help with just living in Japan, utilities, or you need urgent help just to make your life easier, does that company do that for you? And from my experience, companies that have set up the structures, they have a good reputation, tend to help their ALTs beyond just work and also just their personal life in Japan. Lastly, I think follow your intuition. This is very important. Despite the reviews online, despite all these ways of identifying the best company for you, please follow your intuition. And before you decide, even when you do interviews, because some people might have different interviews with different companies, how did you feel? How did that interviewer make you feel? Did the recruiter care about you? Did they, try to get to know you? Did they understand your background? Or did you feel dismissed in a way? Did you feel like they were rude? It's in the small things, because how that person treats you during an interview can also translate to how generally they could treat their ALTs, because you never know. You never know. So follow your intuition. How do you feel during the interviews? How do you feel just when you go through the website? Are you feeling like, why does this feel very vague? Or do you feel like, oh, this is actually nice, this sounds nice? So in that process, try and sit and think about how, just reading about that company and the reviews, try to think about, how does this make me feel? Does my intuition flag this as a green flag or a red flag? I hope this video made sense to you, and all the best as you make the bold step to come to Japan and choosing the best company for you. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 3,000 subscribers by the end of the year. See you again next time.